Welcome to Beats and Boots, the podcast where stories from music and subcultures around the world come together. Here, we want to explore the journey of skinheads and skin girls, road boys and road girls, punks, and everyone part of our subcultures. On each episode, we will dive deep into personal stories, how our guests discovered these scenes, faced challenges, found joy, unity, and identity through music. Join us on Beats and Boots, music and subculture stories. Welcome to Beats and Boots, music and subculture stories. Today's guest is an experienced musician from the Oi scene, originally from Hamburg, Germany. He had played the drums on the band The Boys and on his current band Red Bricks. Let's welcome Chris Sharp.
Hi, nice to meet you finally.
A pleasure to see you. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm looking forward to share your experiences and your story.
Me too.
Let's go back to the beginning. Let's think and reflect on that first encounters, the very, very first moments. Could you describe how you first discover anything related to any subculture scene, when that happened, where, and how did you get involved?
Yeah, we're going back to the early or middle 90s, where I was born in 1980. I was like 12 years of age, so we started our first band with some friends in the neighborhood, and the usual thing. And then we had a social club nearby where a punk concert went on, and it was so crowded, and I was impressed by all the people wearing their punk stuff and pogo dancing and stuff. So I was so impressed, and I tried to discover it, and went to the shops and was looking out for fanzines where I can discover more. So there was the print media by that time. There was no internet, no nothing. And as I said, I was impressed, and I discovered over the time. And I've ordered some CDs by that time and cassettes from mail orders. Yeah, the musicians in that time, in that part of Hamburg where I'm from, and they gave me their tapes, their demo tapes, and so I've discovered that a bit. and I bring that influences to my first band. So that, however, stopped anyway, anytime, and I got more and more influenced by the punk scene. And then I saw my first skinhead one day, and I said, "Fucking hell, what's that?" I said, "Yeah, this is what I'm gonna be." So, yeah, as you can imagine, this is always this is always a way, this is always a process to get into that. And the first Oi record that came in my hand was Victims by the Oppressed. And yeah, that was the first record, the single, Victims, and it just blew me away. I just, fucking hell, what's that? This is exactly what I was waiting for. And so yeah, it took this path to get to what I am today. So then I started a punk rock band with some other friends called Clean Sweep. There was some kind of 90s hardcore punk and stuff.
And
And so I've discovered all, yeah.
that was your first band.
No, that was my second band then, Clean Sweep. But it was my first really punk rock related band, or my first real punk rock band. And yeah, I was really enjoying that and playing around, mostly some local gigs. Once we went to the Netherlands for 40 euros, that not even covered half of the way to get there. We're not talking about coming back to Hamburg. So yeah, but it was all experiences, right? And it developed over the time. So I've helped out in some bands, and yeah, then my last band stopped, and the guitarist of Red Bricks, Boris, he was also free because his band Folkstorm stopped after, I don't know, 20 odd years. So he was 22 years in that band, so they stopped then. And I said, "Hey, Boris, we're both free, so let's start something new." Yeah. So we got the guys together, had our first band meeting in the middle of the first COVID lockdown. Yeah, here in our flat. So, and that was the start of Red Bricks, and yeah, and it developed over the time. Yeah, this is pretty much how the musical story of me. So little and big steps between that. Yeah, once my friend Baba from the Boys moved over from Singapore to London. He asked me to join the Boys on drums, and yeah, I said, yeah, let's build up the lineup over here. So he was looking for some guys to play in the band, and yeah, I got all the guys together to form a band, and we practiced a lot. And yeah, we played also in the US in 2023. We played at Crash Fest in Portland. Was a great experience, and we are all very grateful. Thank you to Mike on this point to get us over. Yeah, and somehow one day Roddy asked me to help out for the Oppressed here in Germany, and I was like over the moon, and I said, "Fucking hell, what's that?" You know, when the idols of your childhood become your friend. So this is something that only the subculture can do, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, I played 2 times in the Oppressed, one club show, one festival here in Germany, and it was awesome. It was like, maybe you remember when I said first my first record was the Victims of the Oppressed. When we played that festival called Back to Future here in Germany, someone went on stage when we were sound checking, and he said, "Yeah, I need someone to sign me. And I say, yeah, you need to ask the boss. So it's not my business. So I was 3 years of age when that record came out. So I'm not in the position to sign that. And Roddy just turned around and said, "I need to fucking sign that, son." Yeah, and if he said I need to sign, yeah, of course I need to do that. So that was mind blowing, and I was over the moon. And still, I
Yeah.
still love to remember that day. And yeah, we played a lot with the boys in the UK and here in Germany. So, but then it came to a point that Baba had a new job, and he had only, or he still has only 20 days of leave. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we couldn't go on like this. And yeah, so now it's only Red Bricks, and I'm very happy with that.
Now, let's talk a little bit about how much influence have had the subculture in your life, in your development, right? How has being part of the subculture have influenced yourself, your identity, who you truly are? Can you recall any moment where you realize how involved and how much the subculture have influenced your identity and who you are?
I think it's a big part of what I am today, but I don't think it formed my personality. Right? I'm what I am with the subculture or without the subculture. It's it's like it's like a feeling that we all have, and it's a feeling from the heart that we have to be in this subculture. And you know, you wouldn't land in a subculture when everything was fine in your previous life, right? This is something that we all have in common, and this is something what makes it. Everybody carries his own package, no matter what kind of package that is. But I think to accept everybody's, yeah, I won't say failures, but everybody's edges. I think this is a good part of what I am today.
No, it's interesting because I have had many conversations about this with people
Yeah,
around, and the feeling is very similar, even though we are all in different circumstances. And
yeah,
as we have our lives and we continue living every day, but at the end, we have this place where we feel connected and we feel
yeah,
identified. And we can truly express who we are and have that sense of community no matter where we go. Even though we have differences, the reality is that we have more things in common
exactly.
than
Yeah,
differences, and that is like a great thing to have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's truly is.
Let's talk about sharp, right?
Yeah,
Skinhead, racial prejudice. It's a
yeah,
movement that was born in New York City during the 80s.
yes,
It was intending, right, to, fight against, the racism at the time and educate the public about the origins of the skinhead subcultures, right? It was rooted in that migration, right, of the Jamaican root boys to England, and then how it blended with the kids of the working class. And that got missed at some point for some groups, right? And then Sharp was born. How did you first hear about this movement in Germany?
yeah. And we're coming back to Mr. Roddy Moreno. Yeah, he was in New York and bring it over to Europe, and he was spreading the logo he made out of the original Sharp logo. He put the Trojan ham in the middle, and he redesigned it a bit, and he was spreading the word. And yeah, how did I heard from that? I think I saw flyers and I saw the logo on the back of some records, and then I started to discover what that really is and talking to people. And back in the 90s, people were scared of skinheads unless they were sharp skins. But they had problems to see truly what kind of skinhead that this is. I think nowadays it's more obvious. We can see the scum before they see us, right? it's the way they are dressing, it's the way they are expressing themselves and stuff. But talking about sharp is like we try to carry the torch of sharp and stand firm against any kind of discrimination, racism, fascism, injustice, oppressing. And yeah, I think this is the most important part of sharp. And yeah, stand firm, stand your ground, and yeah, don't give them space.
And I think you agree that the sharp movement
Yes,
still play an important role
yes,
in our subculture today.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yeah. I think we need to have a point where to start from, and this is always the anti-racism. If that point is given, you can spread in every direction you want to go. But this is the most important thing. And when you meet people from all over the world, which is yeah, obviously even more simple with the internet. You can connect with people and so on. Yeah, I couldn't do it without the point of anti-racism, what that really means, and yeah, leave it
Absolutely.
as it is. Yeah,
How
yeah,
important is for the people in the subculture to find and support each other, meaning all the aspects of what is the subculture, from the bands, from the people who do the shows, from the people who
yeah.
watch the shows, right? Um, how important is that feeling of a strong sense of community in our subculture?
Many people are traveling for some gigs all over the country. It's not as much as in the US, but people are doing that. Um, and when you see some guy from the north where we are, and we're playing some show in the west or in the south, and you're seeing them, you say, "Hey, motherfucker, you did the way over here to see us." And yeah, this is something truly amazing. And I think the thing to shape a community is now more important than ever in hard times, right? And I don't think that I'm alone with that with that way of thinking. Yeah, I think that's one of the best experiences I've ever made.
And staying in that line of thinking, let's talk a little about the joy in what you do.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy the most about this, being in the shows or playing? What part of what you do in the subculture you enjoy the most?
Of course, playing drums and playing shows with my band. Of course, this is the yeah the part why I'm doing that and why we're all doing that. But it's also for me, it's very important to talk to people, to make new friends, talk to people, talk to groups, and see how it is in their city, because every city is a bit different. And yeah,
How does it feel to share that with others when people come and see you, and having that sense of brotherhood and unity? How do you describe it?
yeah, I think it's a great feeling when you're coming to a venue, and even when there are not no audience yet, like before the sound check and stuff, and even before that, 5 or 10 people, and they are all like, "Oh, nice to see you, and good that you're here, and we were so looking forward to for today and stuff." This is something really amazing, and what I really enjoy. And when it comes closer to the doors time, and people are attending and coming into the room, and looking out where the guys to talk to us, and this is something really good. I really like that.
It is a great feeling, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's talk about your journey now as an adult. We all
yeah,
started young in the scene. It was another moment, other
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
How has your perspective on the scene changed as you get older?
I'd say it hasn't really changed much because I was always influenced by the same guys, and I don't. Yeah, some people will call it narrow-minded, but um, I don't want to. I don't want to see something else. I don't want to see. The, I got my way, and I'm going my way, and I'm pretty happy with the way and how it went so far.
There's any improvement that you would like to see in the subculture moving forward?
I think there could be more young guys joining the scene. It's it's going forward, and yeah, it develops. But I think it could be more. When we were younger, there was not much. But nowadays there are so many things to do for teenagers, that yeah, subculture isn't the very first stop anymore. So I think yeah, the young bloods could be more interested in other things than just sitting in front of the PlayStation, and yeah.
Absolutely. I want to go at some point at one of your fest, the Sharp Fest.
The Sharp Fest, yeah, it's happening in a few weeks.
Yes, a super important thing that you do for the subculture. Is you the one who organized it?
Yeah, I'm doing that with Sam from the Indra Club, and who runs also the Monkeys Club here in Hamburg. I'm doing that with him together.
Okay.
So,
can you tell us about the Sharp Fest?
so first of all, I have to say that my first Sharp Fest ever was in Newport in South Wales in the UK. And we played with the Boys, The Oppressed, Fatal Blow, and some other local bands. And we played the Sharp Fest, and I was blown away by the audience. Everybody was in the same way of thinking, and I said, I need to do something like this at home. And I was talking to Sam, and Sam said, "Oh yeah, that's a fucking great idea." And yeah, so we started that. The first year we had the Drowns and the Oppressed and Hunting Lions. Red Bricks, of course. This is a thing that I took out myself. So Red Bricks playing every year, and the second year, so last year, we had the press over to headline the Sharp Fest, and yeah, this year we got Fatal Blow to headline. Of course, Red Bricks. What we got? Violent Times from Frankfurt, Chlorix. We got Angry Voices from Hamburg, so check them out. They're a really good band. We got Bullshit Detector from Texas. We got Bad Terms from Boston. We got the Poster Boys here from Hamburg. No, they're not from Hamburg. Sorry, guys. They're from Hanover. It's 2 hours in the south. In America, it would be probably the same city, but not here. It's 2 hours. It's a long way for us. And we got Tighten Up, a reggae band, to close the Friday night.
Awesome fest. You need to feel super proud of doing that event. It's very important and significant.
Yeah. It's always the atmosphere. It's always fantastic. I got friends, very, very good friends, coming over every year from the US, from Australia, from England, from Sweden, from Poland. This is something truly amazing when you get your family back together.
Thank you for all that subculture, truly.
Thank you.
To finalize this amazing conversation, can you share where people can find your music?
Yeah, we're on every usual streaming platform. We're on Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music, all the big ones. On Bandcamp, we're on Instagram, on Facebook. For circumstances, we're not on TikTok and other platforms. And of course on YouTube. We recorded 3 music videos to our current album, Take Back the Streets. Yeah, it's all on YouTube. So it would be nice to have some new guys joining the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much, Chris, for joining us today. Truly, it was an honor to have you here in the show. And thank you for sharing all your experiences and thank you for sharing this conversation with me.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for asking me to join this amazing video interviews.
Oh, thank you. And thank you everyone for listening. Remember to check out our Spotify playlist that will feature Chris music recommendations. This was Nayamaji. Until the next episode of Beats and Boots, Music and Subculture Stories.